So you're a Chicago guy, right?
Yes, I am a Chicago guy. I'm a
Right?
Chicago. No, don't let the New York hat fool you. This is purely hip hop. Like
Right?
I got on the blue shirt that there.
And it
I'm not a
works.
Yankees fan at all, but I just
Uh-huh.
love hip hop. So
Right? Right, absolutely. Okay, so we'll start there, right? So who's your favorite? I got old school rapper because I don't keep up. I'm not so up on like all the young new
yeah,
guys in rap. Uh,
yeah.
who's your
I
favorite old school?
I would say old school would be Rakim, hands down. Rakim
Right?
is ultimate. Like man,
Mm-hmm.
he's just the king of it, man.
Right?
And DMX, I love DMX, man.
Right.
DMX is one of my favorite. Oh, I love DMX, bro. I
Mm-hmm.
got a chance to go out to New York too, man, to his hometown, man, and
Right?
like the projects that he lived in,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, it was just surreal just to be there, and they actually have a mural of him in there. I'll drop the picture of that too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man, I enjoy like again. I can't get with some of the new stuff, man. I keep
Yeah.
it old school, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Keep it old
yeah.
school. Run DMC,
Yeah.
I love Pop. Tupac is another one of my
Yeah, right.
favorites.
You
Yeah,
can't
so
not, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Right. I like to put Tribe Called Quest on, and
Oh, oh yeah.
they're so good. They're
Yeah,
so
yeah,
good. You know,
yeah.
that is,
That's music. That's good music right there.
they were good. You know, and another one that I really enjoyed was Arrested Development as well. Like Arrested
Oh
Development,
wow. Oh no, you're going way back, man.
right? You
Oh
don't hear
yeah.
so much from
Oh yeah.
those, like, but they were good. They were, you know,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they was Tennessee. I love that, of course that was
right,
the main hit, but I love that. I love that one. Yeah,
right,
yeah. There was another one, old school back in the '90s, Far Side. I love
mm,
them as well.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, right,
yeah.
absolutely. Ah, you mix it all up on like Spotify or whatever, and then like every now and again,
Hmm.
Spotify will throw something that you haven't heard in such a long time. You
Oh
know,
yeah, oh yeah,
like
man.
Jurassic 5, something like that, and you go,
Oh
oh,
wow.
I haven't heard that in ages. You know?
Oh yeah, I do that too, man. I hit them with random,
Yeah.
like just do little random picks, and they'll like pick EPMD from me or something like
Yeah,
that.
right?
Slick Rick, the ruler, man. Like Slick Rick. Oh man. Yeah, that's it right there.
Check this
I
out, this
absolutely love
Warren G,
that.
you know what I'm
Yeah, hip
Right.
saying?
hop out there,
Chilling with my man
like the hip
Slick
hop
Rick, you
culture,
know,
man.
and we're gonna give you our little tale
And it's
about that jail
crazy
stuff, you know? So Rick,
that
why don't
a
you run it,
lot
homie?
of what I do is
Mm,
wrapped around that. Even when I do my battles, man, that's what I actually base it off of is hip
right?
hop, man. And
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
actually writing um like this literature on how hip hop culture just is surrounds horology.
Yeah, man.
It's in it. They go hand to hand, man. It's a
Yeah.
perfect combination. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
The overlap is for
So
real. There's
it's crazy.
there's a watch event in September that I've been invited to, and it's watches
Okay.
and cars, right? And
Ooh.
yeah, so they got like some nice cars down there. They got like old school Porsche 911s.
Oh.
They got because there's certain things culturally, I think, that the watches just overlap with, and you see them in hip hop. Cars,
Yeah.
I think car guys are natural watch guys are natural car guys, that
Yeah.
all of these cultural things that just kind of overlay, and they're just like tectonic plates that just kind of like,
It
and
is,
you're
man.
likely to be into that. You're going to be into this. You're going to like a bit of this as well. You know how it works, but
Oh, most
absolutely,
definitely.
you know,
Love it, man.
right?
I love
So
it.
what first got you into the watches then? What brought you into like the interest in the watch scene?
Well, actually, it was my godfather was the first person that get me into watches. Now he
Mhm.
owned Rolex, Cartier, and
Nice,
Omega back in the day.
right?
But the first watch I fell in love with was Daytona. I love just the
Mm,
chronograph, that the
mm,
aesthetics of it. I didn't know what
hmm.
it did, but I just know
Yeah,
it just grabbed my attention,
Yeah.
and I fawned over it, you know. And I remember back in the day, my parents owned watches too, you know.
Mm.
So my mom was Citizen, my dad was Seiko,
Right.
and they wouldn't vary, you know. And I
Yeah.
grew up in
Yeah.
a household, we talking cars, like Chevrolet was the car of choice in our family, Chevrolet or
Right.
Buick, like one of the
Yeah.
two,
Yeah.
anything GM. So like that was what
Right.
I grew up with.
Uh-huh.
And I remember my first watch was a digital piece. Um, what was it? The Star Wars, yeah, R2D2 and
Oh, really?
E3PO on it. Yeah, that was my
Right.
very first watch. Yeah, my
That's
very first, and I
nice.
loved it. Yeah, loved that
Right.
watch, man.
Right.
Then there was like a little Transformer watch back in the
Hmm.
day.
Yeah, there
Uh,
was, and
I
it was a little
yeah,
robot. Yeah. Mm.
yeah. I won that watch.
Really?
I went to camp. Yeah, I went to camp and we did this race. We had to do all these different things, and I ended up, you know, coming to first place. And they let me pick what I wanted. And like you had like a baseball, a bat, and all this other stuff.
Right.
And they
Right.
had that
Right.
watch. I said, I want that watch. That's it, man. So yeah, that was
Right.
the beginning, man. We're talking, bro. We're talking like mid to late 80s.
That
So
is
yeah, I go back far.
right. I mean, you were like, what were you like 10?
Oh
Right.
man, fell in love with it, man. You listen, man. Then my sister had a Casio, so hitting the button to just watch the little light, and I'm like, wow, this thing was amazing. This is before
Mm.
I even knew what moon was, but
Mm. Mm.
yeah, man, I loved it, bro. I've been in love with watches, man, since I was a kid,
Well,
off the
my
top.
my dad, he had a job where he was in sales, and he used to like go places for conventions and stuff like that. He went over to those states like a few times and stuff. And he used to sometimes bring stuff back for like me. I got a sister, and there was just the two of us. And he brought these things back from this convention, and he gave my sister a digital Casio watch, like just like you said, like just a very simple. It's got the light on the side. He gave her the watch, and he gave me some sort of a rucksack bag, right? And like my dad was quite old school. Like we didn't speak up so much to my dad. You know, he was the boss and everything.
Right,
But
right.
I tell you what, I remember, because this is one of the very few times I ever took my dad to one side. We were in the garage, right, in that garage connected to the house, and I took him to one side and I said, "Dad, you gave Vic, my sister's Victoria, you gave Vic a watch, and you gave me a bag." Like, but and he was like, "I didn't
Hey,
know you'd be into the watches." I was like, how can a watch be the same as a bag? Like it's a bag.
right.
That like how can you give her you gave her a digital watch and you gave me
Mm,
a bag like that? And he was like, I didn't know. He was like really like on the spot like that. And from then on, it was like, if there's a watch coming into this house as a gift for somebody, I'm getting the
right,
watch, right?
man. Hey, I'm laughing at the fact that you took a chance on getting your backside ruptured, man, by
Oh,
your
for
dad.
real.
But hey, that's how serious, man. I'm telling you, man.
That's it,
This stuff
right?
is serious, bro. This
Hmm.
stuff is serious, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
absolutely, for real. And back in the day, that's exactly what you were risking,
Oh yeah,
for real.
oh yeah.
Like, or like him turning around and going, "Oh, you don't want the bag, huh? Right? Okay, maybe she gets the bag and the watch." Like that. I was like, but I was like in such
Yeah,
a
man.
state of mind about it. I was like, I don't care. I don't want the bag. You can have this bag back because that's no good to me. Like,
Take this
what
bag.
do you
I
think I'm
want the
going to put
watch.
in a bag? I'm not going to put a watch in it. Obviously, like that. I was like salty, you know,
I ain't mad at you. I'm not mad at you at all, man. That's important, man. Watches are important, man. Those
right?
are keepsakes. They're beautiful, man. Like
Hmm.
they see. That's the thing about watches with me. Um, Even when we're talking any social media outlet that talk
Yeah,
about watches, I look at a lot of them.
yeah.
Um, and everybody has their own thing, but at the end of the day, man, your watch should have some type of emotional
Mm,
um movement on your soul,
mm,
man. Like that, this
mm,
thing should just adjust how you move and how you present yourself.
How
and
am I
how you
feeling
button up.
today?
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, you know, and because I had just did a live stream on having a one watch collection because I know that's the thing that people talk about here on
Mm,
YouTube.
mm,
And I know Skylar had mentioned it. You know, like, well, yeah, there are people out there that do one watch collection, and hey, I'm not knocking anybody if that's what they like to do,
mm,
but they're
mhm,
like, I feel like Phil, if you did a video on one watch collection, right? I'm like, Phil, you know,
mm,
you're not gonna do one watch. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? Like, yeah, and I love how you say I'm ordinary, but the watches are special. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bro, that's a real thing, you
That's the
know,
real
because
thing.
yeah, bro,
You
like
know,
your watches make you feel like certain type of way, bro.
I agree. I agree. It's like when you're a kid and you see those cartoons and like they put something on and they become somebody. You know, there were so
Mm,
many of them cartoons. Like, I don't know, like you said, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. He'd take that
yeah,
sword out and he was He-Man then. He wasn't the other guy
yeah,
anymore, you know? And there was so many of those kind of shows where it'd be like he puts this on or whatever. And for me, like watches are really like that. Watches are like you put
mm-hmm,
this watch on and you feel like now I'm ready. I'm going to go out and that,
mm-hmm,
game face on. I'm ready to go and do my business or whatever. And it is just like for me, it's like a statement thing. And from an early stage, I don't know, the watch kind of imbued that quality. And like I say, if you got an extraordinary watch on there, you can be an ordinary guy, but like suddenly you
right,
get like a little bit more. You get like an extra. And
yeah,
I've always felt that way. I remember being small, being little, being like, in like what we call primary school. I don't know what you'd call it,
okay,
junior school or whatever. And
mm-hmm,
we were living in the city of York, which is in the north of England.
yeah,
And York's got some nice shops because it gets a lot of tourists. It's a real tourist town. So they've got a lot of shops that sell watches and jewelry and things, and they put them nice things in the windows and the nice window displays. I just remember walking down those streets, like looking at those watches, like going, wow. And of course, that was in the day when you could go in and just buy on the day, like a Rolex. There's no waiting lists or anything like that, you know.
yeah,
And you could,
yeah,
go, you know, and they would have like these days, everybody wants to have like their Breitling boutique, their Omega boutique, their Rolex boutique. They used to have like Rolex in the window,
yeah,
Omega in the window, Breitling in the window, Tag in the window, and you could just what I could just take forever, looking at those watches.
yeah.
I'd be really fascinated to know what the psychology is behind people who like get into that thing. Like I say, it's a certain thing that I see in car guys as well when they're like,
Yo, car guys
when they're
go
like,
crazy, bro.
you know,
They
absolutely,
go crazy.
yeah,
You know, you know, this one thing I've talked off camera
mm,
to collectors about. Again, every talking head on YouTube has a certain pizzazz about themselves, or
mm-hmm,
have like this energy or like this
mm-hmm,
knowledge. Teddy, like I think
mm-hmm,
Teddy being one of the leaders up there.
mm-hmm,
But I feel that that's only scratching the surface, the stuff that we talk about here on the social media, bro.
mm-hmm,
Because I've talked to people like just random people, you
mm-hmm.
know, and I'll ask them like, hey, what do you think about this watch? Some people don't even know or even
Mm,
heard of Longines, right? They
mm,
like
mm,
Longines, like what is
mm,
that? And I
mm,
explain it to them, and they're like,
mm,
oh, I didn't know this company existed, you know,
mm,
or even ball watches, right?
mm.
And I'm like,
Right.
okay, so there's people out here that have no clue what's. There's people that's never heard of Inventor, right? And it's like,
Mm,
yeah, I'm telling you, there's people out here, and then you get to talking, and then they're interested in your conversation. They're like, wait a minute,
mm,
okay.
mm,
Um, and then I throw the term horology out, right?
mm,
Just to see, and
mm,
people are like, what is horology? What is that?
mm,
And then you break
mm,
it down to them, and that just opened up this whole dialogue that
mhm,
yeah, YouTube is great. It's a nice resource.
mm, mm,
There's libraries. I'm talking
mm,
about 15, 16 years of libraries worth of information for people to just be wowed. And they,
mm,
you know, and I think the average person will be shell shocked. Like if they
mm.
just came in not knowing anything about watches and now they have all this information. But
Right.
at the end of the day, people are content with some people are content with just having one watch, Casio, right? A
Yeah,
G
yeah.
Shock. I know somebody that has a Rolex, right?
mm,
They bought a Rolex
yeah,
back in the 80s. They still got it.
yeah,
They get it serviced every
yeah,
so often,
yeah,
and they won't buy another
mm,
watch. They're like,
mm,
hey, I'm good. I'm gonna
mm,
die with this watch. And I'm like,
mm.
that just goes against everything that we've seen here on YouTube.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
goes against everything, man. So that
Mhm.
just lets me know that when you say, hey, the top 10 watches, or you should get a watch. I mean, some people will be happy with AliExpress watches.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
don't
yeah.
need heritage.
Hmm.
They like, and then when you tell them like, hey, this is a homage. What the heck is a
Mm,
homage? I'm like,
mm.
oh, you really don't know. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So it's interesting, man. This thing that we're
Mm,
in is real interesting, man. And it's not as big as we think it is.
mm, mm. Yeah, and like it's funny. It's interesting for me because obviously you're the other side of the Atlantic.
Mhm.
You're over in America. Like Switzerland would like everybody to feel that the heart of the whole watch industry is in Switzerland, but I'm not
Right.
sure I agree with that anymore. I think that's changed an awful
Mm,
lot. There's obviously some
mm.
great heritage and some amazing watch brands, and tends to be the more expensive brands. But like America itself has like got some, has got some great watchmakers out there as well.
Oh
We're
yeah.
seeing Japan, you know,
Oh
just
wow.
popping some great watches. I just thinking about like the watches that come out of Japan, that's just stunning me. Like Britain has just like the British micro brand industries has just like exploded over the last sort of 5-10 years. Has just been insane. I mean, what's happened with Christopher Ward is like insane,
It's
you
crazy,
know?
bro. It's crazy, man. And you know the thing, you remember, was it 4 to 5 years ago when the
Mm,
GMT, like
mm,
GMT's been out for a while, but like it
mm.
wasn't making any noise. And then all of a
Yeah,
sudden now GMT is the thing to have. You
right,
had your collar
right.
style, and then like the true GMT, and then it just went
Yeah,
nuts.
right,
Everybody had to have a GMT. I don't
right,
care. I got to have a GMT.
right,
And it's like, okay, what's the next big
right.
thing?
What's going to be the
Some
next
people like, I
craze?
don't want mineral crystal. It got to be sapphire. It got to be sapphire
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
crystal.
yeah.
And then you got to have the on the fly adjustment. Like
Mm,
that
hmm.
went crazy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I believe that we're going to see a boom in deviation, the time, like
Mm.
your power reserves. I think that's going to go crazy. I
Yeah,
believe
yeah,
that
yeah,
like people are like, hey, I need more power reserve.
yeah,
And I didn't know that the newest nomadic, you said, had a 60-hour power reserve.
yeah. That's right. Yeah, they just stepped it up.
Bro,
Yeah,
that right there within itself, man, it is amazing, man. It's
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
I don't knock how they say off the shelf movement, but you do
oh, yeah,
realize that even though ETA
yeah.
is mass produced, it
Mm,
wasn't in the beginning, and it still has the same elements. It still
mm,
has the premise of you have springs, you have bridges,
mm, mm.
you got jewels, you got all these
Yeah,
things that make up. And I don't care about it being mass produced.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
still it's magical. It's
yeah. It
magical
is.
that this watch is like it's on your wrist. So every time I
Yeah,
love automatics because I get to look at the sweeping motion. And like
yeah,
my Longines is
yeah,
72-hour power reserve. And I'm like,
yeah.
that's amazing.
That is
That
amazing.
and it just still I mean, every time, even though it's mass produced, you should still
Mm.
look down at your watch and be like, in the beginning of time, we could date back
Yeah, yeah,
1755,
yeah.
that
Right.
a man
Yeah,
came up with an idea.
yeah,
And you think about the machining they had to do to get all these little different sprockets
yeah.
and all these,
In
man, just to get
that,
it to the point
right?
you're getting over 200 to 200 to 500 pieces in this small little spear, and
Yes.
it has to work. It
Right.
has to work after you walking around bumping
The
up against
whole
stuff. And
time, and with
man,
such
bro, and
precision.
that's, yeah, man.
Right.
I think we get out of that, man, and that's why I say I'm childish when it comes to. I
Mm.
still have a childish mind when it comes to
Hmm.
this. I go back to a kid, like,
Yeah,
ooh, I gotta watch. Yeah,
yeah.
and I'm looking down at it, and I get to set it. I get this one. If I get my manual ones, I get to wind
Uh-huh,
them,
uh-huh, uh-huh.
and man, I don't know, man. I just like I enjoy it. I love it, man. No
Mm-hmm.
matter what brand,
Yeah, yeah.
So
So, like, over in the States, how how easy do you find it to be to get your hands on like all the different Swiss watches to have a look at them and stuff like that? Is it more difficult? Has it been more difficult since all of this stuff about tariffs and stuff like this? What's the situation out like over there?
Well, so you know what? It's easier to get your hands on micro brands.
Hmm.
It's more fun. I know that much. But the
Uh-huh.
only one that I seen that I thought was weird was the Rolex because I
Right.
remember in '07, no, it was '08. I bought my first Rolex and I
Right.
just got it. I just bought it. It
Yeah.
was
Right.
no wait list. There was no
Yeah.
none of that.
Yeah.
Still $3,000, but
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I mean, but then you think about how much it is now, a
Yeah.
Submariner and I remember back in the day, you couldn't give a Daytona away. Like you could,
No.
then nobody
Right.
wanted a Daytona. They
What
just
did you
didn't. They
get?
even
What
though
What was your first Rolex?
I had,
What?
I actually I had a sub. I had a sub. My first one was a
Nice.
sub.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I wore my G-Shock more than that, man. I got it just because of like, hey, I got a Rolex now. I put it
Yeah.
on and showing everybody. They was like, oh man, you
Right.
got a Rolex, and I was on
Yeah.
cloud nine for a second, and then it was
Yeah.
gone. I was like, because when I was in the army, I felt like so you talking about feeling complete. I would
Yeah.
always put my uniform on, get
Yeah.
out of my civilian clothes,
Yeah.
and before I put my blouse on, I
Mm.
will put my G-Shock, make sure the time is right, then
Hmm.
I put my blouse on, and I felt like Superman. I felt like there
Mm.
was nothing in this world that can stop me.
Mm.
Like I felt superior, man, and it was
Mm.
the whole everything. I said from
Right.
my wife, my
Yeah.
knife to everything else, man. Like I
Yeah.
just, man, it was
How long were you
amazing.
in the army, mate? Was it the
I
army
was
you
in
was
for
in?
six. I was in for 16 years.
Was you really?
Yep,
Wow.
yep, yep. 16. Yep,
Wow. You
yep.
get deployed?
Yeah, yeah. Two deployments. Two deployments. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bro, that was it. Wow.
So no longer putting on the uniform was hard for me. Not
Yeah.
it took me a long time because I'm a creature of habit. And any soldier
Yeah.
would do this, man. Like you reach for
Yeah.
your weapon and it's not there now. You like crap. Now
Yeah.
you have to readjust to
Yeah.
living on the civilian side. And it's like, what
Yeah.
do you do with your time now?
Yeah.
You're not activated, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, man, it took me a while to get readjusted.
Yeah.
But this is where hobbies do come, like, and this is
Right?
where I dove into like horology more.
Yeah.
Like when I retired,
Yeah.
that's when I literally started picking up watches more often.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that actually helped me out. That helped me out a
Yeah.
big deal.
And I think
Yep.
when COVID hit, like there was a shockwave that went through the market around watches, and the whole Rolex thing went crazy. The whole
Oh my
Rolex
God.
thing went just. I mean, it's like it's not. I don't think we're back to like what I would call normal now, but it went into a state that was like, this is not right. Like people like flipping and paying like 20
Yeah.
plus £1,000. I don't know what that would be in dollars, maybe $30,000 for something like you say, like a GMT. Like those
Hmm.
GMT2s were going for crazy money. The Batman, the Batgirl, things like a Hulk, stuff like that, and people just going nuts. And I was like, where are people getting this kind of money for these kind of watches? That used to be
Yeah.
like back in the day, were like $5 grand watches or whatever, and you're like going, like people are going absolutely nuts and going crazy. But like part of the joy that I've had out of watches is like picking my way through the things that people forget about or overlook. Like I got a show par here on the desk in front of me,
Mm.
there, and
Oh yeah.
you can't really like capture it, like the guilloche on the dial and stuff. And like, that was, I don't know, a couple of thousand, and it was like, for me, I'm like looking at that going, and that's like a combined build where it's stainless steel and titanium. There's so much
Mm-hmm.
about that watch that I'm like, wow, I love it. And I love like there's little pieces, like there's a breguet that I've got my eye on, a Type
Mm.
20 breguet, you know, and like
Okay.
breguet is like, it's like for me that's like a super brand, but you can pick those up, have them imported from Japan for like 3.5, and you're like,
Okay.
and people are like going crazy, like, to me, when they'll spend like, I totally respect like the quality in what Tudor are doing right now, but some of their pieces, because some of their hard to get pieces, they're getting pretty hot, and they're changing hands for some pretty silly money in the secondary market.
Woo.
Rolex all the time, but like, and I'll be like, yeah, I'd like one of those watches, but not at that money, not at that price. So I've had like a lot of enjoyment out of finding things like the deals you can get on like a Breguet Type 20 or certain like the IWC Portuguese, things like that you're like, and you can kind of watch it and go, if that goes down below that level, I'm going to have to do something about that. I'm going to have to jump in at that point and bring one of those home, because I just think that's that's incredible value. So I love that side of the watch game. That kind of thing,
man. You should, bro. And that's like the watch you just named. I can tell that you enjoy it, because I can tell when people like you light up, and there's times where I watch people talk about watches, and then when they really engage with like, hey, the brand that they like, and I know that, man, I think it's a catch-22 sometimes with social media, right? Because if you're a content creator, you got a channel, of course you want to have some of the best watches. You want to have access to these things to talk about. They're great talking points. But then you know what? And this is where I fall in it. I'm like, well, you know what? I will watch your channel. I'm going to stick to what I know and what I enjoy. And there's so many different watches. I mean, even with like Hamilton and Tissot, you don't necessarily. And I would say, even digging into their archives, if you can find some of their vintage stuff, it has some great watches, man. Like, amazing. And even like we're talking like some old school Longines, which those are kind of hard to find if they are in good working order. Nobody lets those watches go, because you think about, they were making their own movements at one point. So, but I still say like Glycine made they have a Panerai style watch. I can't think of the model number, but it is the same dimensions as a Panerai, right?
Yeah.
But it's just Glycine, and it's like a 43. It's a 44 millimeter. It's a big boy, but it's Glycine. It's nice, man. And pure mechanical movement. It's all Swiss made. I saw one in person, and I was like, oh, it's a beautiful watch, man.
Right.
It's a beautiful watch. Yeah, man. And I think
like,
you should.
Sometimes you find a watch and you're like, damn, I'm in trouble.
Man, bro, that's it. That's it. There's some watches out there that's like, a brand that I got a chance to see for the first time with Traska. I've always wanted to see a Traska.
Yeah. I've never seen one.
I got my hands on it, and I'm like, I wish I wouldn't have got my hands on it, because now I want one.
Right.
I wanted it just from looking at it, but like, nah, I really want one, man. I said, this isn't good, man. Zero West too. That's a brand that nobody really talks about that much. I heard about them maybe 4 years ago,
mate.
But Zero West, they put
what
some crazy stuff together, bro.
Right? Whoa. So I met the guys behind Zero West, right? And I've been talking to them about doing a video, because they put like a piece of vintage aircraft inside one of their right, like they get like a real Lancaster bomber, or they'll get like a Spitfire, or they'll get like something. And so I was chatting with them about it, because I actually live down the road from the Imperial War Museum here in the UK, where there's like, they've got the full museum, and it's got like American planes in there. It's got British planes. They've got the World War II planes. They got the post-war. They got the early jets. They got everything. I was like, so I got in touch with them, because I've been chatting with them and saying, look, I could do such a good video with like looking at one of your watches in the context. I take it around the museum, put that in the context for the video and everything. So we've been talking about doing that, because like their watches with like, the stuff that they do to go and hunt down the salvage, so that they can put a piece of, and it's not just, this is a piece of like, You know, this is a piece of a, you know,
Yeah,
yeah, they'll know which plane it was and who was the
yeah,
pilot, you know,
yeah.
and what you know, they'll serialize it, they'll put the numbers, they'll list it, they'll tell you where the metal came from. And that's like, you know, they're not trying to escalate their business model to be like, you know, to break out in the way that Christopher Ward did. They're just like, no, this is what we do. You know, we will go and buy the engine block out of this, or we'll go and get the turbine out of that, or and then we'll make something from it. You're like, I've got to respect the integrity behind that work, you know?
That's why I like that company, man. Like when I first heard about them and seen what they do, I said, "Oh wow,
Mm,
this is it." And that right there, that part of horology, I absolutely love.
mm,
Because yeah, you can always go find it. So you can always go find a Hamilton,
mm-hmm,
Citizen, Boulevard,
mm,
Rolex,
mm, mm,
if you got the money. But like
mm.
those unique pieces, those
Yeah,
I call
yeah.
piece unique, and God,
Mm,
man,
mm-hmm.
I love what they do because I think they had like an old one of the motorcycles
Mm.
from World War II
Yes,
a
they
couple
did.
years ago,
Yes.
and that was impressive, man. Just being able to get a
Mm.
piece of history like that
Yeah, yeah,
on your
yeah,
wrist,
yeah.
that metal,
Mm,
oh yeah, count me in, bro. Like that one, and for what they asked for is price wise, that
mm,
one I've always said, if they ask $4,000, it's worth $4,000 because it's
mm.
worth having that. You know what
Right?
I'm saying? Just imagine if you were able to open your pocketbook or at least save a
Mm,
couple dollars and buy something from a museum
mm,
that was in
mm,
a war or that has something to do with the
mm,
evolution of your hometown or
mm.
heritage. You will want a piece of that
Right.
and say I got. And then on top of that, I'm not putting it in a safe. I get to wear it. Oh yeah,
Mm,
count me
mm,
in. If you asking
mm,
$3,000 for it,
mm.
let me sell some watches. Let me move some stuff around.
Right,
I want that.
exactly. Right there.
I want
I
that.
can make room. Right,
Yeah,
exactly. That's
yeah,
the that's the watch collector's mentality right there. You're like, yeah,
man.
for real. Absolutely. Yeah, those guys are crazy. How did you hear about those guys? Because, you know,
Um, I don't know if it was Watch Chris. It may have been Watch Chris had
mm,
mentioned it. This was like 4 or 5 years ago,
mm,
and I watched the video in its entirety, and then after that, I'm even on a newsletter. Like
mm,
I, you
mm,
know what I'm saying? I don't own a watch yet,
mm.
and I remember leaving a message. I said one day I will have. That's one of my goals to
Yeah,
have one of their watches. If I only get one,
yeah,
I'm gonna have a piece of what they crafted.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and that's one thing I do like about the micro brand independent space.
Hmm.
And that's regardless of it. And I know we can like the NH35 movements
Hmm.
or Miota
Mm,
or a Salida movement. They
mm.
be like, hey, it's off the shelf. That's fine. But I like the craftsmanship of what they put in this watch, like the actual
Yeah.
build and how they
Mm,
build around the movement.
mm,
And I know some people are actually taking the bridges out, putting their own spin on it, and it's like Kokomo Watch
mm,
Company, right? They
mm,
they use Swiss movements that's off the shelf, but they blew the screws. They do some specialized work, which I actually have a watch.
mm,
Being like I actually put this together, a
mm,
watch together, gave them the ideas, and the dial and everything. We're working on that. We came up with an idea, but like I'm
mm,
scrapping that idea and there's something else I want on the dial.
mm.
But it's and I'll give you this. It's in the shape of a Panerai.
Nice.
So, and I like Panerai.
Yes.
However, this one, this one is going to make me not want a Panerai, so I can take Panerai off my list
Mm,
and put Omega in place of my, prestigious piece, if you will.
right.
So yeah, but yeah, man, I love the independent watchmakers and what they do, regardless of them getting this Elite 200 because
Look at this.
oh oh there we go.
There we are,
Oh
right? That's a
oh
Zero
yes
West.
sir,
That's a commemorative piece.
bro.
Look
Come
at
on,
that.
man. Hey, look at the levels of micro adjust on that thing, bro. Oh my
Damn right.
gosh,
Look at
yo, they
that.
making sure that thing's gonna fit well.
Mate, and it's
Look
on a
at the
rubber
hinge,
strap, but
bro.
look how classy it looks.
Bro, come on, man. Look at that
Right?
case, man. The case back, bro. Like that. That is. That's a heavenly
Mate,
watch, bro.
right,
That piece right there will just
right,
you see how that it just affects how you look and view watches, man. This is what
right.
horology is about.
And
That right there.
do you know what I love about that piece right there is like 99.9% of people would just be like, what is that? You know, that
Yeah,
because it's not got one of the big names that they see sponsoring sports and you know
right.
in the windows of different places. It's got that you got to know what you're looking at here. But the fact
Yeah.
is, look at it. As soon as you look, you know it's special.
Oh yeah.
You know that's special, right?
And I
That's
hope they do allow you to get a piece so you can walk because I would love to see what you do with that. I'd love to
right.
see the content that you put out with that, man.
Ah,
'Cause,
you know, I mean, and look at that. Look at the price on that, right?
man,
That is
and that's what I'm saying. That's worth the price. That's worth the cost of getting something that you love. That's something unique. That
right,
man, come on, bro.
right,
Zero West is one, in my humble opinion, is one of the best independents out there.
right,
That's not talked about. Let's just say that that's not talked about because I don't see too many people like mentioning
right.
um this company like that.
Nah, look at that. That's
Look at that,
crazy.
man.
That's
Look at that.
it's special. It's just, you know, that's
Now
prop
that's
and
the epitome of a Flieger, man. Like that right there
right, right,
is,
right.
gosh,
You know,
I would love that. I would love to wear that watch. That's a hero piece right there.
right? For real.
That's the piece that you buy, you invest, you get that watch, you wear that watch, scratch it up, do whatever you're gonna do, and you pass
Yeah,
it
yeah,
down
yeah.
to your loved ones, man. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. That one,
Absolutely.
man.
Like
Gosh.
you know, they got a piece there from the Vulcan. They got a piece there from
Mm,
the Spitfire.
mm,
Um, they got one there from the with the mosquito in it. That's
mm.
crazy. You know, I mean, for real. You know, what's this one? Flying Scotsman? They surely haven't got a piece of the Flying Scotsman. Features salvaged boiler tube, reworked and finished from the Flying
See,
Scotsman.
that's crazy.
The Flying Scotsman is the was the fastest steam train, I believe, was the fastest steam train before everybody like moved on to like electric
Moved on
trains
to
and
yeah,
everything. It's like
right.
the Flying Scotsman. Every kid in the UK grew up knowing about the Flying Scotsman, right? It was like one of those things that everybody got taught. It's just, you know, like it says here, true history on the wrist, you know. That's the Flying Scotsman right there. That was, and the thing about the Flying Scotsman was it was the train that went up and down from London up and down to Edinburgh in Scotland, you know, and that's the
Mm,
full, pretty much the full length of the country, really. I mean, people say Land's End to John O'Groats, but realistically, you know, it's the capital of Scotland to the capital of England is London to Edinburgh, and it was right up and down the
okay.
east coast, you know. And I'm not a big train guy. My son is a huge train guy, um, you know. But like again, look at it. It looks fantastic, doesn't it? That's that's
Well,
insane.
hopefully they'll allow you to do that, and so you can
Mm,
actually start a series.
mm,
That would be dope. Like they allow you to do a series, so they give you one, and you just take us through.
mm,
Because that's the one thing that I don't have access to is the
mm,
history that you have in London,
mm,
man. That's crazy.
mm.
Like, you guys have a lot of history, man. I mean, I've been to London one time, and that was through the army, but
Right, right.
and I was only there for a day.
What year was you over? When was that?
Oh, 08,
Oh, right. Okay.
2008.
Okay.
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
wow. I don't mean to make us feel old, but that's nearly 20 years ago.
I know, man. We
That's like
old as dirt,
18
man.
years, right? Like I
Yeah,
honestly, I like, do you know what really freaked me out? When Lauren Hill did the 25-year anniversary tour of Miseducating
yeah,
Lauren Hill. I was
man. I was
like,
like,
you're kidding.
oh,
That cannot be 25 years.
'cause I remember when that came
Yeah,
out, man.
back
That
on the
dude, I
boogie
was
when
so hyped
cats used
about
to
that.
harmonize like.
Yeah, that
That's a
makes you
great,
old,
great
man.
album, right?
Yeah,
I was like, what?
Yo,
Even,
my men
you
and my
know?
women, don't forget
Yeah,
about
well,
the
you know
day.
what we got to do,
Is it
Trap? We
not
got to
the
get
most
you over here a
king?
bit. We got to get you to Germany as well so you can go to Glashütte. You know, you got to,
I'm game,
mate, we got to sort
game.
some things out, you know? But yeah,
Okay. That's one of my goals, man. I need to get over there. Trust me. I'm
right,
coming over there, and I'll just allow you to just take me because I love
mate,
the video you did when you were going back and forth. Oh man, I love that.
mate. You know,
So,
teaming up and doing some of those things would be amazing, right? But
oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
um, anyway, mate, is it your son that's playing
yeah,
basketball or your daughter?
yeah, son. So yeah,
Is he finishing
and
up?
that's game right there.
Is that it?
Yeah, no, it's done.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, mate. It's
yeah.
been
So that was his second game. He played one. Yeah,
okay. Well, what position does he play? Are we going to see him in the NBA?
hopefully.
Right. You know,
Point.
you'll get
Yeah,
those
hopefully.
watches then.
Yeah. Hey, wishful thinking, what? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm with that.
Mate,
So, hey, Phil, I would love to do this again with you, bro.
I would really like that.
Some,
No, I would really like that. I would really like it if, on the, on a regular, just to get together and chat watches, and, maybe we could find a way to edit some of the conversation together and just put it out. Cause I think there's an appetite for that, it'd just be
okay,
nice,
yeah,
and
yeah.
just put
Let's
some
do that.
live streaming as well. That
Let's do
would
that.
be absolutely amazing. It's just been absolutely such a pleasure and an honor actually to meet you properly, and chat.
Oh man,
I just
yes,
I
sir.
just want to say I rate your video. I rate your content. You really do great content, and I
Thank
enjoy
you,
it immensely. So I'm just
thank you. I
grateful that
appreciate it.
you found the time for me today. Very yeah, very pleased that I got to chat with you, mate. And like I say, I'm going to be in touch and be nagging you and saying, hey, Trap, you want to do some more? You want to?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do
Yeah.
it.